We're here with David Whitaker. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Great
Thanks for
to
having
see
me.
you. My pleasure. So talk to us about Xtium.
So we are a private cloud hosting and DR company. We make intelligent solutions out of cloud, right? By delivering the cloud experience right to the client's office network.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about what that looks like.
So one of the things that's missing often in the cloud deployment solution is the network, right? So what we do is deliver a secure private network connection into our infrastructure, and we also set up an appliance on site with the client that drives a lot of the intelligence between their environment, their infrastructure, and our facilities.
So practically, I mean, in real nuts and bolts terms, what would that look like on a practical level?
From a practical standpoint, a customer that has infrastructure today, they've got their Microsoft environment, their ERP environment, whatever other applications and services they may be running, we're going to plop our appliance in. It's called the Smart Frame.
Okay.
Drop that in, connect it into their environment. It'll appear as if another server on their network, and it's going to intelligently monitor and manage all of the connections between those services and our infrastructure, effectively providing a high available, robust DR solution without the cost of building a second data center, without the cost of going to a colo facility, buying additional hardware, and managing all of those services on both ends.
So in some respect, you're sort of taking over some of my storage needs as well?
We can, we
Yeah.
can, we can. So we certainly can. So we can extend our infrastructure essentially as part of the client's network. So whether that's for a production case, right, they're going to be running their data and services out of our storage environment, or from a DR scenario where they just need us for failover in a disaster scenario, either way we can make that storage available to them.
Why use Xtium over some of the other options available?
Well, again, it's all about the intelligence of the connectivity, right?
Okay.
I mean, most cloud service providers aren't providing the means to get into the cloud infrastructure, and that's what we do differently. We provide that secure private connection and the appliance to drive the intelligence between sites.
Interesting. What's one piece of advice you could share with people who are interested in taking their cloud to the next level?
I would say seriously take a look at what you're doing today from a DR standpoint. That's really a pain-free way to start to evaluate SLAs, cost structure around leveraging the cloud. Once our customers start using our DRs, they start looking at, well, the SLAs, the performance is great, then they can start thinking about practically moving their infrastructure full-time into a cloud service.
And what's next? What's coming up in the future?
From a cloud standpoint, I think that we're looking at ways to better integrate different components. As you can see, the industry is moving more towards SaaS solutions, SaaS offerings, right? So software as a service, and customers will soon have to confronted with the challenges of integrating all of those components, and that's something that we want to be in front of.
And what will you do to get there?
We're trying to develop some intelligence around the framework of connecting those components together, giving customers a real good visibility into where their resources are, what those resources look like, et cetera.
For you personally, what's the most fun of your job? What's the part that most satisfies you?
Well, we're in a change era, right? I mean, the movement towards cloud is starting to accelerate very rapidly. Customers are starting to think about their infrastructure and IT services in different ways. And it's great to be a part of some of those conversations as customers are thinking out 3-5 years about what they can do differently internally, what services they can change for the clients, changes in revenue models and efficiency, all of these things that ultimately impact the business.
Very cool. Where can we find you on the trade show floor, and where can we find you online?
We are at booth 205, and you can find us at xtium.com, xtium.com.
Very cool. David, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. David Whitaker from Xtium. You've been watching Conference Live. Let me